We were existing, but as long as we were in that small place in area 1, it wasn't a headache to anybody. There was no headache. In fact, they liked us. Oh, that man can preach. He can preach the word of God. He can preach truth. But suddenly, where did they get the money from? They said the roof is in billions, in millions. How? Yeah. If you don't want anybody talking about you, forget impact. Now, when the congregation was broken up, that is, the service ended, many of the Jews and religious proselytes, those converts from other religions, they followed Paul and Barnabas, who, speaking to them, persuaded them to continue in the grace of God. And the next Sabbath day, came almost the whole city together to hear the word of God. Multitude. But when the Jews who just followed Paul now saw the multitude, they were filled with envy and spake against those things which were spoken by Paul, contradicting and blaspheming. When there was no crowd, they were okay with Paul. When people were not plenty, they were okay. They were followers. Anytime you do things that shake cities or shake nations, expect envy. Anytime you do things that have not been done before, because before now, we never heard that almost a whole city gathered together, expect envy. We were existing, but as long as we were in that small place in area 1, it wasn't a headache to anybody. There was no headache. In fact, they liked us. Oh, that man can preach. He can preach the word of God. He can preach truth. But suddenly, where did they get the money from? They said the roof is in billions, in millions. How? Yeah. I said they saw the multitude coming to know God. Instead of being happy, they were moved with envy. We have been here all this while. People didn't follow us. People can survive your failure, but they can't withstand your success. Or they can survive you, they can tolerate your frustration, but they cannot withstand your manifestation. They are comfortable with your smallness, but they lose their sanity with your meganess. They just run mad on the spot. Some mini demons. The Jews we just heard now that followed Paul, they were okay when people were small. When the whole city gathered, the Bible said they began to contradict. What he's preaching is not correct. They began to blaspheme. He is not of God. He cannot be of God. This cannot be results from God. Don't be moved by criticism or condemnation.